In this episode, we're getting ready for the dune season and installing a switch pod so we don't have to pull our seats every time we add an accessory. So stay tuned. So before we jump into the installation of the switches, I do have to mention today's sponsor, as it helps me grow the channel and bring more content to you guys. So Kemimoto sent me over this bag that mounts between the seats on the Can-Am, and I absolutely love it. It's made out of a hard material, it has dual zippers, it has a pocket inside, makes it super easy for you to store all your stuff that you're bringing along with you on the trail or the dune. And whether you got the 2-seater or the 4-seater, the installation is super easy. You take off your turbo cover, you mount it on top of the turbo cover with the little J-clips that are attached to the bag, install the bag back with the turbo cover in between the seats, and you are ready to roll. And the nice thing is it's made out of coated nylon fabric to help repel water, so the stuff that you're putting inside isn't necessarily going to get wet. Like for example, for me, I'm going to be putting all my camera gear and my drone in the bag to be able to shoot footage on the go. And surprisingly, it really does fit a lot of stuff inside. So make sure to check out Kemimoto.com. They have a whole lot of accessories for side-by-sides and UTVs, anything you need for storage, and more. And don't forget to use the coupon code KMYTBA for 12% off site-wide. And now, back to the install. Gotta pull the seats, gotta pull the back seat, and I am sick of pulling the seats. So, I have decided to do a switch pod. And we are no longer going to be pulling the seats. I got to pull the front seat once, and then the rest of it I can hook up to here, but just removing one panel, which is going to make life so much easier. So I actually installed the same switches in the Jeep, and they work flawlessly. They give me 8 switches. I'll throw a link in the description if you guys are interested in watching it, how to do it on the Jeep. I did install the factory auxiliary switches. That wasn't enough, so I got this, and for under $130, this is awesome. So I decided to do the same exact thing on the Can-Am, and here is the switch panel. You get, and again, this is universal, so you also get shrink wrap, which is kind of nice once you hook up the wire so you don't get any shorts. You get a jumper fuse, which is basically for whatever your accessory is to just power on the switches. So this wire right here, everything is fused. Internal relays, what they're using here is kind of like a solid state relay, so you don't have any moving parts, waterproof. And once you hook up your terminals, shrink wrap them, and it's pretty much ready to go. So in that, you also get your hookup to the battery, which we don't have to go to the battery exactly. I'll show you where to hook that up. You get some extra fuses in case you somehow manage to blow that. You get a mounting bracket for your switch panel. This is actually the bracket that I used right there on the Jeep. All your mounting hardware. You get your wire that goes from the switch assembly box to the switch pod. You get some zip ties in case you don't have any. You also get this bracket right here that is if you want to mount your switches on a flat panel, you can use this and mount it up on a flat panel. You get a bracket, steel, which is pretty heavy, for this guy, which I'm not too crazy about it. It's actually kind of heavy, and I found a different way to mount this. I figured out a different way to mount this up. Your instructions, which are actually fairly decent instructions, like I said in the last video that I did the switches, the instructions were actually really good. And then last but not least, you get your labels for each individual switch, which if you really need to get these, I've seen them on eBay. You could get all sorts of ones. You can get funny ones, you can get ugly ones, you can get simple ones, whatever you want to run, you have the ability. And Also, the switch pod is available in green and blue. I'll put the link in the description for that, so make sure to check it out. The Jeep got a green one. I'm going to be using a blue one in the Can-Am. And let's get cracking and install. All right, so underneath the dash here, I have this panel. And like I said, I wanted to make a single panel removable. So if you remove one panel, essentially, I'm going to be able to hook up all my accessories right here. And again, you can mount this in any location that it fits into. I kind of like this whole setup because literally 2 bolts and two plastic clips, and this panel comes off. So we're going to get the seat out and hook up the wires here, and then mount up the panel and mount up the switches. All right, so I literally just lifted the seat up because I'm too lazy to disconnect the 4-point harness. Once you have your panel taken off the side here, you'll see on the bottom here you have your accessory that comes on with accessories, your always hot positive, and you also have your ground right here. So these thick cables, they come directly from the battery, and this is just I guess a distribution block. We're going to be hooking up the big thick positive to the always hot and the black to the negative up top, and this little one we're going to tap in to the accessory, so when we start the engine the switches turn on and we're able to use them. All right, so I got everything neatly hooked up, run through. This panel is going to go back on, and let's say it blow a fuse, I'll still be able to just pull this front kick panel off without taking the seat out, replace the fuse, and then anything that I need to hook up, I can easily reach in here to hook up any of my accessories, lighting, or anything like that, which makes life a lot easier, not having to pull the seat every single time you swap out something or change something or do a different light or decide to add something. That's going to be a whole lot easier. All right, I got everything buttoned up. Everything's out of the way. I ran the wire for the pod underneath the dash. Here, all I had to do was drill 2 holes to mount. I did the same thing in the Jeep, but that was a little bit more nerve-wracking than this. For some reason, I don't know why. This just went like butter. Pretty much installed, so it's right here at my fingertips, and let's go ahead and start it up. And there you go. They are lit up and ready to use as soon as I hook something up to it. So switches work, all 8 of them. If you turn it off with a button in the middle, it'll shut everything off, and then you turn it on back on, it'll go back to the memory that it was at. But if you, let's say you have it off, you can still turn stuff on without having to mess with a button. I'm gonna put a link in the description, make sure you check it out. I haven't installed the stickers yet for what I'm doing. I have quite a bit of lighting coming from Diode Dynamics, so this thing is gonna get some lighting too. So the dune season is right around the corner, and we are definitely gearing up for it. There's a lot of exciting footage that's coming to the channel, so make sure you don't miss it. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.